This
All.
conference will now be recorded.
And first of all, if we say that our work nowadays, whatever the time is, nowadays it's the age of the competition, whether it may be the manufacturing industry, whether it may be the service industry, it may be our institutes, and in the competition, maybe for us, maybe for students, maybe the trade and around the world also, we are seeing that how the trade war is been going on. And in all these, the main thing is that one has to become competitive, one should become competitive, and one has to also achieve competitiveness, and one has to also sustain competitiveness. And in order to achieve the competitiveness, we can say that the industries and the organizations or the institutes, they adopt many means. And supply chain management, this has been also found one of the strategies. Those who have applied this, they have been able to obtain the wonderful results. Some people also applied GIT, Lean System, Agile System, or total quality management. Some people have gone for the advanced manufacturing technology. So out of these, under any given conditions, based upon the result that supply chain management has given, people have recognized its potential and trying to obtain its concepts. However, if we see that in the many areas, many concepts are the common ones. And here in my talk, I will explain to you about this. And apart from this, if we see also in the historical manner, prior to this also, if we say in the history also, there were the many wars, maybe World War First, maybe World War Second, and maybe the three wars of Panipat, or three battles of Panipat, first, second, and third battle of Panipat, maybe the battle of Plassey or Buxar, or we can see that the many battles inside and outside India, and you will understand that in all these battles, way to manage whatever the management system was, that played the key role. The side which was able to manage well, and they were able to win the war, they were able to win the battle. There were also battles in which the winner side, their army, that was one third of their opponent or the rival. But because of the better management system, they win. And if we just have the carry out the study in the depth, in that also that was seen that the supply chain system, wherever the better one, they were having the edge. And the same way, maybe industry, maybe institutes, those who have the better supply chain system, they are adding the competition. And people have also recognized in the its need in the area of the social aspects, let us say the spiritual aspects, in the health issues. There also, this has been found that the concepts of the supply chain has played a key role. And if we see that nowadays, competition has also become the global one. Earlier, it was the local one. There are many organizations who have their presence all around the world. Or we can say that there are no boundaries of trade. If we see that you will be able to find around the world, Samsung you can find everywhere. In the same way, Cisco, Sony, Apple, Ford, KFC, McDonald's, Amazon, Flipkart, Zara. Google, Dell, Yahoo, or in the same way, there are the many organizations whose presence is existing everywhere in the world, or they have captured the world market, or they have their significant place in the market, and if they are not able to manage well, they may lose the market, their market share may go less. And in this supply chain system, we are also going to see the many such concepts. And if we see that those, and we may just recall situation around 5 to 10 years ago. 1 month ago, it was found that market share of Nokia was more than 90%, and just after 1 month, it was reduced to less than 10% because they were not able to cope up with the market needs. Whatever the future market needs were, they were not able to identify, and they were not able to work accordingly. So this just indicates that the organization that must give the due weightage to the innovation, creativity, and research so that they can sustain competitiveness. And now let us focus our work in this area. If we can see that in the 1970s, there was complete focus on the manufacturing only, because at that time there was no competition, or competition was local. After that, in order to obtain the competitiveness in the 1980s, it was identified that quality is the prime issue, and in the absence of good quality, the product that may not compete in the market. And then along with this, the issue of the cost, and they were also earlier, but the other aspects, they also came, and in the year 1990s, the supply chain systems, they came into the era, and by which the business competition was further improved, and after that, there is the focus on the e-business and supply chains. And this has been observed that those organizations in this way, which had given the way to continuous improvement, they were able to survive and give the good results. And in this way, the organizations, those who were able to update and do the better continuously, they were able to obtain the competitiveness and survive in the market. Now, let us start that what supply chain is. If we talk in the general way, this has the large boundaries. Just see all activities associated with the flow and transformation of goods from raw material to end users. So in this, all the activities, their flow and transformation from one to other, that has to be focused. The term supply chain refers to entire network of companies that work together to design, produce, deliver, and service products. Area of design, production, marketing, and servicing. And in this way, there can be the many organizations of the network of the organization involved in order to achieve the good outcome, that all this area across the organizations has to be also focused, so that ultimately one should be able to obtain the good outcome, and one can gain the good results. A network facilities including material flow from suppliers and their upstream suppliers at all levels, flow of material from the supplier and from their other supplier, transformation of material into semi-finished and finished products, let us say that internal process organizations in which the production activities are to be carried out, distribution of products to customers and their downstream customers at all the levels. So in this way, the delivery work, distribution work, so that ultimately the customers and before they are the retailers, they can also obtain that. So this also indicates that how the vast supply chain area is. Further, however, if we talk about the definitions 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, many things are being repeated, but that also increase our vision and revise our vision. And when the same thing or the similar thing is being said by the other experts, our belief system that also accepts that the Supply Chain Council of USA that said about supply chain management. Supply chain management includes managing supply and demand, sourcing raw materials and parts, manufacturing and assembly, warehousing and inventory tracking, order entry and order management, distribution across all channels, and delivery to the customers. So whatever has been said earlier in the fine and the accurate words that has been described by the Supply Chain Council of US. And further, it has been said that by the experts, by the researchers, by the practitioners, supply chain management consists of highly coordinated and integrated flow of transformation, products, services, and funds between suppliers, manufacturers, wholesalers, retailers, transporters, service providers, and consumers. So along this whole chain, the highly coordination between the activities that is required so that ultimately this flow can become smooth, our cost can be reduced, and we should be able to work in the efficient way, better way. And if we talk something more about supply chain management, intentionally I'm saying it because my idea is that we should be able to focus more and more the basic concepts so that our further discussion that should become easy for us. Supply chain management encompasses all activities associated with the transformation of goods from the raw material stage to the final stage when the goods and services reach the end customer. So in this way also the same thing has been described in the other ones. It involves planning, design, and control of flow of material, information, and finance along the chain in order to deliver value to the end customer in effective and the efficient way. So this also said that across the chain, all these activities of the supply that should be given the due attention. Now, if we say that in the brief along the chain, we have to mainly focus on the 4 aspects: flow of material, flow of service, flow of money, flow of information. If we are able to make the smooth flow of these 4 aspects, we will be able to obtain the good result. We will be able to obtain the objectives of the supply chain system. So our whole discussion and the whole work of supply chain, whatever we have talked earlier also and further also, that will be around these 4 aspects: flow of material, flow of services, flow of money, flow of information. We can say that if they are available in the right way at any point, our work with the desired result will continuously go. Now, about these 3 flows in the supply chain, we can say that in the downstream, in the material side, flow of the products and the parts take place, and in the information side, flow of the information regarding the capacity, delivery schedules, etc. that takes place. And the finance side, the information about the or invoices, pricing, credit terms that takes place. And on the upstream side, the flow of the material in that the return items for repairs, after sales services that takes place, information about the orders, point of sale data that takes place, and the finance, the payments are being received, and this flow of the payments that takes place. Now, whatever we have talked, partly that has been also stated in the form of the easy diagram in the here. Let us say that vendor or the suppliers, the raw materials, etc., they are being supplied, and they are receiving the plants, and based upon that the manufacturing activities that are being carried out, and then through the distribution centers they are being distributed, and then ultimately it reaches the customers. So we can say that in the comprehensive way how the flow of the material that takes place, or the product takes place. And the similar things that have been explained with the help of the other diagram, we can see that from the upstream to downstream, how the flow from the suppliers to manufacturers to distributor to retailers to customers that takes place. And we can say that at the manufacturing plant, beyond the left side, we have a supply side, and to the right side, we have a demand side. And our aim is that the supply and demand that should be matched, profitability for the products and services that should be attained, and by this we are able to achieve the right product at right price, at that can be stored in the right way, right quantity, right customer, right time. And when we achieve all these, obviously we will be able to achieve the higher profits. Now, question comes that why focus on SCM? Why we should focus on the supply chain system, supply chain management? First is that customers' expectations are moving in the direction, they are increasing. They are moving in the direction of increased value addition and cost consciousness. Less cost they want and more value in the product or service. Response time, that should be less. Information sensitivity, they want the each information available, and reliability also they want. Whatever is said, that should be fulfilled, that also they expect. And increased competition forcing industries towards, because the competition is increased, that's why the industries are being forced to the lead time should be reduced, and the cost that should be also reduced. And change of attitude, forcing industry managers, need for integration and partnership, continuous improvement of the processes. That's why you can see that focus on the continuous process that is being increasing in the organizations. And in order to achieve the good result, because no one is perfect, they are focusing on the integration and the partnership. And that's why you can see that large number of Indian industries, they have signed MOU with the good foreign industries, and in this way they have also achieved the good results. Now, if we talk about the performance objective of supply chain, we can say that doing things right. That means we want to focus on the quality. Doing things quickly, we want to focus on the speed. Doing things on time, that means that the dependability or the reliability, that should be increased, focused. Changing what you want to do, we want to focus on the flexibility issue. Doing things cheaply, we want to focus on the cost issue, and one can understand that when one achieve all this, the performance of the organizations will be improved and the organization that can become competitive. Now, if we explain in the cycle view, because this whole flow of the money, information, and the product services that can be in the many cases divided into many parts. In the customer order cycle, all the activities, their flow takes place between the customer and the retailer. In the replenishment cycle, the flow between the retailer and the distributor takes place. The manufacturing cycle, the flow between the distributor and the manufacturer takes place. And in the procurement cycle, the flow between the manufacturer and the supplier takes place, or up to large extent, the work of these in these boundaries that can also become many times independent of the work that is being going on in the other cycles. Now, in this diagram, that also indicate the push-pull view of supply chain. If we say that in the our conventional work, there was focus on the push system, but after the arrival of GIT, etc., the focus on the pull system that also gain importance, that at the one boundary, mostly inside the manufacturing plant. On the left side of that, the activities or the materials are being pushed. As we can say that the raw material that is being pushed, and other services are being pushed. And when the product from the industry organization to the distribution center, that is being done as per the will of the distributor, and whatever the distributor want, that he purchase. And in the same way, the dealer and the customers, whatever they want, they purchase from their sites. Or up to large extent, to the right side, we have the full processes, and up to large extent, the left side of one place, we have the push processes. However, there is no hard and fast rule at any place. As per the need, that can be changed. Then, in the organizations, if we see that about the supply chain management activities, the activities, they can be categorized at the strategic level, tactical level, and the operational. In the strategic level, the long-term planning is required, and their impact is for the long term. Let us say for the supply chain example, the supply chain design, resource acquisition, because whatever the decision we have made, we have to work on that for years, or we cannot change that immediately. About the tactical level, production and distribution planning, resource allocation, for these the medium-term planning is required, and at the operational level, the short-term planning may be for the shipment scheduling and resource scheduling, maybe, and because day to day for the activities we may have to change. So for them, the weekly or the daily planning, they are required. Now, let us see that about the action of priority in the supply chain management. This has been seen that if we follow certain guidelines, we will be able to achieve the results desired out of supply chain system. These have been identified by the practitioners and the experts. Rule 1. Only make product which you can quickly dispatch and involve of the customers. That is being also described by the AD system. And experts also believe that the supply chain system that is also the up to large extent outcome of the just-in-time system. Whatever the issues that were faced by the just-in-time system around the world, they have been sorted out or that system has been reshaped in the supply chain system so that the work has become comprehensive, the complications have been removed. Rule 2, products in only products in one period, those components or ingredients you need for assembly in the next period, the same thing in the other area. And in the first rule, we are focused on finished product, and the second, we are focusing on the same finished products or components. Rule third, minimize the material throughput time. That means compress all the lead times. This means that wherever the lead times are, let us try to reduce that. Rule 4, use the shortest planning period. That means the smallest run quantity which can be managed efficiently. The shortest planning period. Rule 5, only take deliveries from suppliers in small batches when needed for processing or assembly. This was also said in the JIT system. And idea was that we should be able to eliminate the inventories as far as possible. Then rule 6, eliminate all process uncertainties wherever they are. 7, understand, document and simplicity of the whole supply chain so that the transparency and the visibility that should be obtained. Rule 8, remove or absorb echelons as necessary. Echelon means the inventory at the successive levels. Because inventory at one level, that may also, because of that, the inventory at the other level may be cost. So let us remove or absorb all these. Rule 9, ensure all information is up to date and instituted so that the right information that can be transmitted to the all concerned. Rule 10, ensure all relevant operation information is visible at points where is total supply chain. Rule 11, use only proven decision support system based on appropriate feedback and feed forward logic. Because nowadays the ERP software or the other decision support system are being used at the many places, and that should be the high quality and the great one. Otherwise, because based upon that our work that will be carried out and we cannot purchase that again and again. So it should be the proven one. So if we talk about the SCM skills for the supply chain manager, what skills he should have? He should have the logistic skills, system skills, analytical skills, commercial skills, technical skills, interpersonal skills. Because based upon these skills, he will be able to make the best and best decisions, and he will be able to give the better and the better output. And as you can see that interpersonal skills to deal with the people to obtain the teamwork in the any case, that is most important, and that can be said as the most important, and that is also ignored at the many places. Because of this, the results are being affected. Now, what are the various problems that are being caused in the supply chain? Because expected problems we should have, and based upon the research and the other aspects, these are being identified. Delays in the production, distribution, etc. Because in spite of our best efforts, we see this many times. Expensive
Ram Ram, Ram
inventory.
Ram.
As we can say that, because of the inventories, the large costs, they are being observed. Lack of partners coordination. Teamwork is not achieved sometimes. And the organizations, across the organization, whatever the teamwork is that should exist, we face problems in that. And the uncertainty that in deliveries, that is also being observed many times because of the transportation system, etc., the demand forecasting that may be poor. And this has been said that forecasts are always wrong or many times wrong. But we have to carry out this because our whole planning and the others that depends upon this. Interference with the production, because the production people, they may get angry or irritated many times because when they see so many persons are interfering with poor quality, and this aspect is being observed very frequently in the case of the developing countries like India. Now, if we say about this bullwhip effect, this is being also observed many times. Whatever customer needs, retailer want to keep more than that, much more than that, so that he may not lose any order. Whatever their needs, distributor keeps with them much more than that, so that when the retailer come, they don't want to lose order. So excessive inventory is with the retailer, with the distributor, and whatever distributor needs, manufacturer also keeps more than manufacture more than. And this distortion of the information that is also takes place. And ultimately, because of the variation of this aspect at the various levels, ultimately, whatever is being manufactured, that is much higher than whatever customer actually needs. And then in order to dispose the products, the organizations, they have to also launch the various schemes. So much free with this, like that, buy two and get one free, or like that. Because that product which has been manufactured, that has to be disposed. Organizations don't want to keep the inventories with them. Then about the various variabilities in the supply chain which are being observed. These are being observed in the area of the demand, process, and supply. In the area of the demand, even the most sophisticated demand forecasting tools even for fail to anticipate demand. As we have started that because of forecasting error and the process variability, the production unit downtimes, it may happen in spite of our best and best. Unexpected staff absences that may also have to see many times, and the supply variability that we may also see sometimes the late delivery from suppliers because of some reasons they are being observed. Now, competitiveness and the supply chain strategy. We can say that every organization, they have some competitive strategy. And a competitive strategy defines the set of customer needs a firm seeks to satisfy through its product and services. Because in order to compete, what their competitive strategy and guidelines are, and accordingly, the product development that activity should be take place, and as per that, the marketing and the sales strategies they should be also carried out. And our supply chain strategy that determines the nature of material procurement, transportation of materials, manufacture of product, or creation of service, distribution of product. And with this, because our supply chain strategy that should be on the basis of the competitive strategy, our supply chain strategy that must support, and moreover all these strategies they must also support one another so that the competitiveness that can be achieved, which is our prime objective. Now, if we say that in this how the strategic fit is achieved, whatever we have talked earlier, first let us understand the customer and the supply chain uncertainty. Then supply chain capabilities, they should be understood, and based upon this, the strategic fit that should be achieved. Now, if we see that obstacles to achieving strategic fit, why we are not able to achieve a strategic fit, reasons identified in the actual case, that variety of the products that is being increased. Product life cycle that is being decreased because of the market. In order to attract the better and better market, the newer product they come so early. As you can see that the newer models of the mobile or the cars, they are being observed up to the short time. Earlier, the same scooter, Bajaj scooter, if we talk about 30-40 years, that was being seen for the 20 to 30 years, or there was long queue. But now the product life cycle that has decreased. The customers have also become increasing demanding. They want more. And the supply chain ownership, because this chain is the very lengthy across the organizations, it becomes difficult many times to put the responsibility and the ownership of work at some place, because activities depend upon each other, one another. Globalization. You may see that, let us have the example of the Dell computer. You will find that its distribution, manufacturing, design, suppliers, marketing, that is all around the world. And the same way in the many products we can see. So because of that, also in the transportation, etc., we may face problems because the social conditions of different areas may vary, and difficulty in the executing strategy as per the need, the wisdom of the executive manager, they are the most important. And it cannot be said as the specified strategy for any. And in this way, many times one may also face difficulties. Now, if we want to achieve the good performance of the supply chain system, the drivers main which have been identified: inventory, transportation, facilities, and information. The area in this that must be managed. As we can say that in the practical conditions, the supply chain management system, the mainly responsiveness and the low cost, high responsiveness and the low cost, they are being designed. and as per the conditions, one may have to also choose any one out of them. So the inventory system, it should be designed in such a way so that high responsiveness and low cost that can be achieved. However, if we see that if we want to have the low cost, the inventory should be less, and in that case, the high responsiveness we may not be able to achieve. So, as per the actual conditions, the balance has to be kept. Our transportation system, that in this case also between the cost and responsiveness under the actual conditions as per the required needs, we may have to make decision. Similarly, the facilities, let us say that distribution centers, how much we should have. In this case also, high responsiveness and the low cost out of this, we have to choose. And similarly for the information flow, and many times with the efficient information flow, we are able to achieve both high responsiveness as well as the low cost. But all these systems, they must be designed well so that we can achieve the better and the better supply chain performance. Now, just now we were talking about the transportation, and we have seen that the transportation system, that was also one of the main drivers of the supply chain management system. And the transportation modes, we can see that the transportation that can be by air, in some case like the oil and the gas through the pipelines, by rails, by road, by sea or water, and mixed mode services like the package carriers, intermodal containers, we may have to choose, and they have the impact on the supply chain management performance system. Now that we have talked that across the organization and inside the organizations, among the many activities and the area of the supply chain system is very wide, very vast. So high coordination that is required, and many times we see that the coordination is less, and because of that, manufacturing cost is increased, inventory cost is increased, replenishment cost is increased, transportation cost is increased, shipping and receiving cost is increased, level of product availability that is decreased, and ultimately because of all these, the profitability decreased. And we can see that because of the lack of the coordination, our competitiveness of the organizations, that how that will be affected. Now, when we want to achieve the coordination across the supply chain, what are the big obstacles that are being observed? I want to list it here. Incentive obstacles. The good profit or the good results which we have achieved, how they are to be distributed. And in this also, sometimes the problems are being fixed. And because of that, the results are affected. Information processing obstacles. The information, because of some reason, we are not able to process in the right way. Operational obstacles. During the operation also, we may have to face obstacles. Pricing obstacles. What price we should keep? Many times we may not be able to increase the price, and because of that, we may face. And behavioral obstacles. Teamwork across the supply chain, we may not be able to achieve, and that's why the interpersonal skills that was defined earlier, that obtains its importance. Now, in order to achieve the coordination in the practice, these are the some guidelines which have been identified that quantify the bulk effect. Because of that, how much loss we can see, and let us try to manage that. Then commitment of the top management that should be obtained. With that, the high degree coordination that can be achieved. And in the many organizations, we may face this problem, and because of that, our ultimate results are being. And to achieve the coordination, whatever the resources are required, they should be also imparted and devoted to them. Focus on the communication with the other stages. Let us try to achieve coordination in the entire supply chain network. Use technology to improve connectivity in supply chain. Whatever the facility is the high technology required, that should be imparted. And the benefits which achieved out of the coordination, that should be shared in the equitably and in the right way. Then, if we talk about the supply chain performance measures, as earlier I explained about the responsiveness and the cost, the same thing is being shown. If we want to achieve the highest service level, the cost also go very high. And in this way, under the actual conditions, whatever the optimum situation is, that we should try to achieve. Now, benefits of the supply chain system, which we can achieve out of the good supply chain. Inventory turnover ratio is increased. Inventory turnover ratio, this can be said as the one parameter which states the performance of the organization. Inventory turnover ratio, that is the average turnover to the average inventory of the organization. And if this value is high, the overall results will be high. That we will achieve in this case. Productivity is improved. This is also said that in the organization, if the quality and the productivity are high, the result of the organization will be good. The cost will be reduced, higher customer satisfaction will be achieved, profits will be increased, on-time delivery will be fulfilled, revenue or the profit will increase. In this way, apart from this also, many benefits we will also be able to obtain. Now, nowadays, there is more and more talk on the sustainability. Our supply chain, that should be also sustainable, because our objective is not to be competitive only now, but in the long term. And if we want to achieve sustainability, the World Commission of Environment and Development in 1997 defines sustainable development is the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. And for this, we should have the focus on the environment, economy, and the social community. Whatever we are doing, it should be environmental friendly. That's why the green concepts, they are being given the more and more. Cost wise, the result should be good. We should be able to achieve the economy. We should have the high economy. And social community, it should be also accepted to society. As we can say that the trend toward the thermal power plants is being decreasing, because the coal-based system, that is not the environmental. And that's why more and more focus on the UA system that is being done nowadays. And if we want to make our system sustainable one, it should be fulfill the need of the all three. It should be able to satisfy economy, environment, and the society. If society does not accept our work, it may not have the long life. Now, just now I was explaining to the green concept or the global and system supply chain. In the case of the green aspects, we focus on the environment. In the case of the lean supply chain, we focus on the cost. We focus on the waste elimination, material reduction, etc. And as per the market need, we can reduce the cost. Competitive environment, we have to go across the world. Our work should be globally accepted, and so that the boundary of our work that should be around the world and environment. In this case, it should be acceptable to the society also and to the environment also. Then our work, this will become the sustainable one. Now, this has been said about the green supply chain management. If we want to achieve the green supply chain management, our work in that there should be more and more focus on the environment at every place. Let us say that we should have the green design. During the design work, environmental aspects, they should be given the due importance. In the manufacturing work, also concept of the green, about the pollution, that should be taken care of. And we are also focusing on the remanufacturing so that the waste can be eliminated, or at least that can be managed, or that can be reduced. Or whatever the return items are, they should be also reworked and be managed well. And waste management, if we have focus on these areas, we will be able to achieve the green supply chain management up to the large extent. And in the same way, if we are able to achieve this, about its outcome, we will have the price premium, we will be able to reduce the cost, the demand will be expanded, and based upon all this, our profitability, our profits, that will be increased, and the organization that can become the competitive one. Then nowadays, circular economy, this concept is also being focused. And if we see that in the linear economy, there was focus on the one side also, and after the work, the waste was being disposed. And as has been said earlier, that we are not disposing waste, but we are reworking of the what we are doing, that we are managing that, and this way we are able to obtain the better economy and sustainability. And this concept, that is known as the circular economy or the supply chain management also. And nowadays, if we see that in the research work that is being carried out in the area of the supply chain management, we have the more and more focus on this. Earlier, the work was the supply chain management, then its various aspects like the coordination about the quality, about the about the green, about sustainability, about its robustness, about its variability and demand, etc. They've been focused, and after that, the latest trend, people are working on the supply chain management so that the circular economy and the sustainability that can be achieved. And now, if we see about the UN Sustainable Development Goals, in order to achieve the sustainable development, whatever the goals which had been defined by the United Nations, the first, which can be said as the no poverty. If we achieve this, we can say that we are able to eliminate most of the problems and we can achieve the development. And for that, whatever whatever the system, we will we will carry out the various improvements, etc. And we will design and manage our system in that way. No hunger. Then focus on the good health and quality education. That's why this is being seen that the developed country maximum focus that is on the health and education. And when because they consider that if there is the quality input on the health and education, all the other outcomes they will be achieved. Then focus on the gender equality, focus on the clean water and sanitation, focus on the clean energy, so that we can have a good environment. When the environment is good, our health will be good jobs and economic growth, innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and communities. That's why the concept given by our Prime Minister Modi ji on the smart cities. Then responsible consumption, protect the planet, as we are seeing in the green system. Then life below water, we can see that about those also their life should be good, life of should be good, life of the land, that should be good. There should be the peace and justice for everybody. Partnership for the goals, right? In order to achieve the goals, the right partnership that is required. So we can see that by the proper supply chain system, whatever that has been talked, we may be able to achieve these goals or we can contribute in the achievement of these goals up to the large extents, right? And if we can see that nowadays more and more work on the supply chain systems that is being good. And if you see the literature, large research that is also being carried out. And about all these outlines I have given, you may be also able to see the journals, see this work in the various journals. You can see this very again on the many online lectures. And a few good quality books are also available. And one of my book that is on the supply chain and logistics management, that has also covered all these aspects. And one new book on the total quality management that has also been given the related concepts. And as you can see that in the many universities, the subject of supply chain management and the total quality management they are being given the due weightage in the engineering as well as the management courses. And we can see that the organizations, whether it may be the manufacturing one, it may be the service ones, or in the case of the social sides also, these concepts of the supply chain management, they can play a key roles. And if we see that in our all this work, our main flow that was also shown on the slides, flow of money, flow of material, flow of information, and flow of services. If we are able to make the flow of these smooth, efficient, we will be able to achieve the many performance goals. Now, that's what I want to say. And if we see that during the time of the COVID supply chain system, its importance that has been also highlighted. And our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, in his talks, he has also explained this. And we can say that during the lockdown time, lockout time also, at the various places that we have seen that the proper supply of the food and the other facilities that was being maintained. And we can say that in those areas, our supply chain system that worked well at that time and its importance. And the we can say that the performance of the organizations at that time that also need to be appreciated. So that's why what I intended to explain to you. And now there is time. I invite your questions, and we have the sometimes left. And whatever the questions of the audience and the views are, that I will like to address that. So now it's for the participants to ask their questions. However, he said that during the talk, it should not be the one-way talk, but the two-way talk. But intentionally, I completed that first so that all of you can focus on this talk, and after that, the various queries that can be asked. Questions can be asked now.
Participants, please put your queries.
Chat box can be used for this also if you want.
Sir, related to supply chain management, can you suggest any mathematical models to carry out research
Okay.
on supply chain management?
Okay. Nowadays, many techniques are being used in this area, and people have used the ISM, AHP, then also the Fuzzy AHP, and also apart from this, people have also used VCORE, SPSS, TOPSIS was also applied, IRP has also been applied, SAP lab system has been applied, Big Bang analysis has been applied, DMetal has been applied, SCM, the structural equation modeling has been applied, PESTEL has been applied, MCDM, multi-layer decision making has been applied. The Delphi system has also been applied. Value stream mapping VSM, that has also been applied. Neural network has also been applied. The other system, the best work method, that is also applied. And in this way, if we see the literature or the research work of the supply chain system, we can see that the many techniques are applied, and apart from this, people have also chosen some area, and people have also carried out the industrial survey work. They have also carried out the many case studies like that, and based upon this system and the techniques, the modeling work has been done, and this has been seen that nowadays people, those who are applying the work of the sustainability and the circular economy, in that way the chances of acceptance to this paper in the good journals, that are also increased, right? And in this way, if I say that earlier, what people were doing, they were applying these techniques in the area of the supply chain quality, coordination, demand variability, etc. But if you want to expect the good research papers in the better journal, who have the better indexing and the SCI and the high impact factor journal, for that something new that is being accepted. And nowadays all this work that is in the area of the healthcare factors, that is also being appreciated.
Thank you, sir.
Other,
Participants, still if you have any
Yes,
more
yes.
queries, please ask.
yes, we have time. We can have the more interaction.
Sir, related to this area, any algorithms were developed
Pardon?
in
this area?
this. Any algorithms were developed?
Pardon? What developed?
Any algorithms were developed?
Yes, that has been developed. Because whatever I said, and in the various research work, if we give something new, that is being appreciated.
Okay, sir. Participants, any more queries? Already I have shared the contact number of Jishit Garg sir. His mail ID I have shared. If you have any queries in future also, you can contact him. And sir will share the PPT. Sir will share the PPT also.
Yes.
Sir will share the PPT also.
Yes, I will share the PPTs, and if anybody has any query or any task in the future also, and in that case also, they are free to contact me anytime.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Okay, sir.
For your night estimation and advanced supply chain management. And many recent concepts you have introduced to us to enhance our knowledge related to the advances in supply chain management. Thank you very much, sir.
And
Wish that
also
we'll
from
have.
also from my side that I express my sincere thanks for giving me the opportunity to have the interaction with all of you.
Thank you, sir. We'll
Okay.
wish that we'll have fruitful interactions in future also. Thank you very much for sparing your valuable time.
Okay.
We are closing this section, sir.
Okay, sure.
Thank you, sir. We are closing this section.
Thanks a lot.
Participants, the same link. Same link will be continued for the next section. That is beauty of inner engineering